Now that we've completed creating a brand new part from scratch, we can access the sketch workbench and build a sketch profile to extrude a solid. So step 2 is accessing the sketch workbench. We're going to first access the sketch plane and then set the preferences. I simply hit Alt Tab to get right back to the CATIA screen, and I'm going to select this little L shape you see on the YZ plane, which will tell the computer I want to build on that YZ plane. So as soon as I click on it, this icon will come up and it allows you to access the Sketcher workbench. So again, you'll select on it, it highlights it in blue, and then all you have to do is click on this and it accesses the sketch workbench. I'm going to go ahead and slide this down, and then I'm going to come in and set my preferences. So you'll find preferences in the top right corner where you see your name, and then below it tells you what workbench you're in. My name is here, and this is the 111 student collaboration. That's what I meant to say. This is your collaboration, and then to the right you have your initials. So when I select on my initials, you can get your preferences. I'll select the preferences, and I'm working in the Sketcher workbench. So the first thing you want to do is establish the app preference. So you make sure that is active, and then you want to find 3D Core, and then you want to find Sketcher. Once you've activated that, this pop-up window will come up. Sometimes it comes in like this. No big deal. You can hit this arrow and it will display everything. I will hit expand all. No, I'm going to hit this right here to maximize this pop-up window so you can all see that. And what you want to do is make sure that your preferences match the preferences I've set up for this demonstration. The keys are to make sure adaptive grid is turned off, otherwise you're zooming in and out and the grid just keeps changing and you can't keep perspective of where you're at. We're going to use a 1-inch increment, 4 steps. So this is known as the graduation of 4, meaning for every inch there's 4 graduations, meaning I've set this up to 1/4-inch increments. Again, make sure everything matches what I have here under the sketch planes. You have these 5 active, and then under geometry we have these 2 on, and then this right here is your geometrical and dimensional constraints. Those must be turned on. And when I select my smart pick, you want to make sure all of these are turned on. Those are called geometrical constraints. Geometrical constraints are constraints that do not have a value. So it's not something I can edit. I can't edit parallel, perpendicular, tangent, horizontal, vertical. It's not something you can edit. It will just give you a symbol letting you know that those are geometrical constraints holding those constraints on that particular sketch. You'll see some as we create this sketch. I'll make them all visible and I'll go less option. So that's your smart pick. I don't really think this does much of anything, but I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. And the other thing you want to do is make sure that the color definitions are set. So when I click on that, the default is always these colors. And it tells you if your part is over constrained, meaning it has too many constraints, inconsistent and not changeable elements, are meaning that if I edit that, you've edited a number so it's so large or so small it can't be connected to the part anymore. The color we're looking for is green, the money color. You want a fully constrained profile. So when my profile turns green, I know that I'm good. I'll verify that with the analysis. Yellow is a protected element, meaning usually that you're holding a link to another element. We can create construction elements, and the blue is smart picks, letting you know that anytime something you see blue coming up on the screen, it's letting you know it's linking it to something else. You'll see how these apply as we go on and build profiles. Remember, the key for this one is to have these two off. You're not good enough to use these on yet, so go ahead and leave them off. Once you've set your preferences, after entering or accessing the sketch workbench, you can slide this axis all the way down to the bottom left corner, get it out of your way so you don't accidentally work on it. That is the steps for step 2 on how to access the Sketcher workbench. Next, we'll go ahead and create a profile and we'll analyze it to make sure it's correct.